Welcome to Photographics Academy. All right, so today I'm going to be showing you step by step how I was able to edit this image from scratch to finish. We'll be doing all of that right here, make all the mistakes, blend all the colors. We'll just make it work right in this particular video. So we'll be breaking in the props that we're going to be using step by step. And the beautiful part is that every single props that we are using in this image, you are getting it for free. So without wasting your time, let's quickly get started. All right, so I'm going to crop the image social media size. Bring this in a little. I need it quite large, so I'm going to blend that in. So I'll stretch it out small. So I just need the space in the image because we'll be doing quite a lot. So I'm going to stretch that just to fill up. Yeah, don't need to be careful about that. Also fill out that area, Control T, and do that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to separate my image from the background. To do that, I'm going to pick up any of the quick selection tool. I'm going to select subject and make a selection of my subject. All right, so we'll have our object properly selected. So I'm just going to modify the mask, just like the selection rather, just like this. Okay, so we'll still go in here, make sure we have a nice selection there. All right, beautiful. Okay, so the next thing I want us to do is that because in the image we removed the chair he was sitting on, so I'm going to intentionally remove the chair he's sitting on here so that we can be able to bring in the other one later. I know there are many ways you can do that, but I think this procedure I want to do is going to be quite easy for a beginner. So just see if you can fit it to your workflow. If it does, use it. And let's see the results we get. Sorry, I'm trying to just make sure I have a nice selection by the way. That's why I'm still around here doing all of this. Well, almost done though. All right. Okay, so we are halfway done. So now what I want to do is I want to remove this chair. And to do that, I'm just going to pick up my clone stamp, fill in this place. Yeah. Just make sure you still maintain those lines so it doesn't end up looking bad at the end of the day. All right, I think I need one shadow here. Let me dark spots. It's the chair that is creating it. So just have to fill it up. Okay, so we can leave the one in front. Now we have the selection done. So what we'll do is that we are going to duplicate this place. So the reason I had to clean it before duplicating is I don't want it interfering at the end of the day. Then make a copy of my object, of my background rather, then hold my control to reload this selection, that I'm going to smoothen this out. Now, one of the things I love doing while working with images like this is that I love moving my backgrounds or any other stuff and leave my object exactly where it is so that I wouldn't have to do a lot of job trying to match and scale up later. I'm going to make everything fit into my image instead of trying to make my image fit into other things. Now, at this point, I think I need some more space for my background. So I'm just going to just expand this a bit too. Press OK. So the reason I decided to do it now is because at the end of the day, it might affect the work. Okay, so looking down here, you're going to notice that we have the same stuff here that we have here. So I'm going to just try to scale this in. So all of what I'm doing now is just to prepare my image for what we have to do later. That is all I'm doing. I'm just preparing my image. All right, so we have this. Now let's get the background we're going to use. So I'm going to just go straight to where it is. All right. Okay, so we'll be working with. Okay, so let's work with this. I'm going to drag this into Photoshop. I'm going to remove some stuffs from there. These two objects here, I'm going to just remove it like this. Hold my shift to make a selection and do the same thing. So I'll just go to Fill, Content Aware. Alright, so they are gone, but it's still looking quite rough. So I'm just using my clone stamp to just make a little adjustment to the final results, like here. Just to make it look like still the same stuff. Yeah, so we can work with that, use our mixer brush to blend this area in. Okay, I like that. So I'm just going to also use my clone stamp to take away this logo. All right. Okay, so we are good. So I'm going to unlock the layer, drag it all the way over my image and place it here. So what I'm doing is to scale it in to fit into my image, not to scale my image in to fit into it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So my image has to be all the way up. The layer that contains my image has to be all the way up. So replace him somewhere around here. Nice. Okay, so now looking at the background, I'm looking at the image. So one of the reasons I selected this background is because my light source in the background is coming from here. And if you look at the image, the main light source is coming from here. So which is one of the reasons why we picked the background. Now I'm going to blend it, just convert it to overlay. And I'm going to notice the way that it quickly blends everything in, the blue light coming from the left, the main light coming from, so everything is looking very much realistic. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is to bring in our chair just to make things a little more realistic. So I'm going to go to download, find my chair. Where is it? Okay, so this is my seat. I'll just drag it all the way over. Let's place it here. It's a PSD format copy. I don't take this one. I think we'll have to place it on a different layer, on a different document, and now drag over, just like that. So we'll have our chair here. So I'm going to press Ctrl T, right click and say flip horizontally so that it flips in such a way that it will fit in to what we are doing. Now we need to start scaling it in to look like he is really sitting on it, and we'll do the other stuff that we need to do. So I'm just going to press Ctrl, just going to hold my alternate and scale stuffs in. So have him properly sitting on the chair, but a whole lot of other things needs to be done, the color, the reflections and all of that. So we need to bring all of that in. Okay, so this is already too big here. Have it here. Nice. Okay, I think I can work with that. Beautiful. All right, so press enter. This is good. Now I want to change the hue of the chair to match the clothes he's wearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my hue and saturation, clip it to the chair like this. So you can hold your alternate over this place. This is going to come up, then press enter. It's going to clip the hue and saturation just to the chair. Then I'll pick up my hand to make a selection of this purple color. It's called magenta in hue and saturation. There you'll notice that as I'm moving my hues around, it's just changing the color. So I'm going to reduce the saturation of that part and just move it around till I get something that looks very close to what he's wearing. It's more like a grayish color, so you just make stuff down. All right, I think we can work with this. Okay, so press enter. All right, so the next thing we want to do is to create shadow for the chair. So looking at the chair needs to touch the floor. And how do we do that? Okay, so looking at it, I think I can come up with something. We can match these two layers together so that I won't have to be duplicating everything. Press Ctrl J, press Ctrl T, flip it vertically, flip it horizontally as well so that everything stays together. Make sure that your auto select is turned off so it doesn't start selecting other ones. So we'll just drag it all the way to the ground. Now what I want to do is I want to have, okay, so I think I need to flip it again. That flip horizontally wasn't necessary. So I want to have its leg as the shadow on the phone. So to do that, I'm just going to make it look like a reflection and then change it to multiply. Just watch what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to match it in such a way that the two legs touches each other in such an intercepting point. All right, so I think it needs to be above. Let's see. Okay, so we got it. So I just moved the layer of the shadow over to the above the layer of the object, which is this one, so that we can convert this to a shadow. So we'll have it here properly aligned. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my press Ctrl L to just darken it down. Like that. Change the blend mode to maybe overlay or soft light. So you just see the way the shadows are already appearing. I love that. So looking at the image now, it's looking like the shadow is on the floor. And of course, this is too sharp. We're going to blur it out a bit too. can even decide to change the blend mode to multiply and then reduce the opacity. Let's see how that works. Let's see how that works. So I'll just change it to multiply and reduce the opacity. That works better. Beautiful. Think I love this. So let's zoom out and see how realistic it's looking already. Nice. Okay, so see it without the shadow. It's looking like it's hanging. Look at it with the shadow, exactly looking as if it's touching the floor. And that is why we created that shadow. Of course, we'll still restore some shadows at the end of the day using this place, and it's going to quickly blend everything in for us. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to introduce this blue light on the chair. If the chair is staying here, then the highlight of the chair should also carry some blue light. So what we are going to do is that we are going to come over to this area, go to our gradient map. Yeah, I will start work. That doesn't work well. Go to our gradient map, make a select. Just go to the blues. Yeah, don't need to do so much. Go to the blues, change the style to radial, and reduce the scale. Let's see our soft light, what it's going to do. All right, so we already have the blues all over the area. So I'm going to double click on it and remove it from the shadows. And leave it just on the highlights. Move it from the shadows, split space. Yeah, just on the highlights. Press OK and invert the mask. Press Ctrl I to invert it. Then use your brush to just paint it into the highlight that is towards the light, like this. So can also have it from here. I think it's too much over here. Just some areas over here. Excuse me. All right, so we are good. This is fine. All right, so this is absolutely good. All right, so look at the shadows, that the light effect that we just created, and I think it's wrapping around too much, so we just have to move it a little from this area just to keep it as realistic as possible. If you are not satisfied with the blue, you can as well change the blue light. You can just go inside the gradient map and just change the blue. You can decide to target the exact one on the wall as well. Target the exact one here. So just bring it very close to the original one and decide to scale it up a little. Let's see how that goes. All right, so this is good. You can change the blend mode and see if you get something better. I think I've loved to work with this, reduce your feel. All right, so we have something very, very realistic already. All right, so the next thing we want to do is that I want to make it look like he's a king. Yeah, because that's the idea we're going for. So we're going to introduce a crown. Yeah, we're going to introduce this crown. Just separate document, just drag it all the way over. Let's see if it's going to fit it. All right, so we'll have the crown properly positioned, but the problem is that the boy is facing this way. So if we have this crown over his head, it's not going to look realistic. Yeah, let me show you. The crown is supposed to also face this way, but because he's facing this way, we're going to just hang it at the edge. Just make it look like it's hanging over the arm of the chair, just like that. You can even position it here, make it look like it's on the floor. I think it's going to look way better there. Or place it over here, but let's just position it on the floor. Nice. So we needed to bring in that crown into the image, just looking like this. Now, to even make it look realistic, we need to introduce some shadows and even suit him inward. So I'm going to double click on it, go to drop shadow, just drop it towards the arm like this. Make it look quite hard. Let's see how that works. Nice, beautiful. Okay, reduce the opacity. Nice one first. Okay, so now let's introduce another shadow that would show that the crown is just slanting. And to do that, I'm going to create an empty layer, pick up my brush, just make a black hard brush paint on the floor like this. Press Ctrl T. Use your shift to just bend it over, stuff like that. So this is the edge, then this is how it should go. Drag it all the way down. Can even send it towards the shear as well. Press OK So we need it very hard. Let's see why it's appearing. Oh, our flow was placed at 31. So let's see what multiply will do for us. I think I love it. You can now duplicate to even make it harder. Group the two of them or just match it together. Match layers. You can now change the blend mode to multiply one more time, and we'll have a very hard shadow just like that. Okay. So let's zoom out and see how that looks. So look at the way it's already looking realistic. And to even make stuffs a bit more blending in and all of that, I think the floor is too bright. So I'm just going to create a Makitu selection over here. Just like that. Go to my curves and just darken it down. So the essence of this is to even bring more attention into my image. Yeah. To bring more attention into my image. Now at this point, I'm going to restore the shadows. Going to press, go to my my blurred out layer and just create a mask for it and use my brush to restore some shadows. Of course, I'm using a soft brush, so I'm just painting it out to restore some original shadow. Make sure you avoid this area. So this is the reason why that appeared is because we scaled it up after making the separation. That is why you are still seeing all of that. So we just check the areas that need shadows to come back. If I need to restore some shadows over here as well. You take okay. So for the background over here, I think it's also too bright. I'm going to darken it down as well. And the last thing I'm going to be doing before we do the color grading and we are good to go is I want to create so much attention on my image. And to do that, I can create a spotlight for him over here. And it's going to bring so much attention to him. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a curves adjustment layer over my background like this. Make it very bright all the way up. Use my brush. Can even hide the mask. Use my brush, make sure it's hard. Yeah, just make a dab over here like this. So it's going to create a spotlight effect over this particular area. You can decide to leave it like this. You can decide to soften it out. You can even decide to brighten it up a little more just to bring in so much attention to that center. So I think I like it this way. I'm just going to feather it out a little. So to get this, you can go to your windows and go to properties. You can just click over here and click on the mask and this is going to appear. So I don't want it to look soft. I want it hard. So we are going to go with this. Now the last thing we are going to be doing is to color grade our image, and to do that I'm first of all going to color grade his skin and then color grade my image. Now another thing I noticed is that I need to have a shadow behind him and also on the chair showing that he's sitting on this seat. So we're going to create that quickly, and to do that I'm going to go to my object layer, which is here. Go to my object, press Ctrl J to drag him down and all of that. So I'm just going to press Ctrl J, press Ctrl T. So just try and move it downwards, and yeah, use my control to just move stuff down this way. Of course, we can paint this in and paint this out later. Just want to make sure we create a very nice shadow that looks realistic as well. So press OK. I'm going to use my levels to darken it down. Yeah, press OK. You can change the blend mode to soft light to see if it works, or even multiply. Then I'm going to blur it out as much as I can because I just need that dark shadow. I don't need the edge. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so now we can decide to start painting out the shadow from the places we do not want it by creating a mask for it, reducing our brush. So I don't want it on the wall. So I'm just going to remove it from the wall as much. Just you can leave a tiny bit of it. Yeah, do the same thing over here. We lost it a lot here, so we'll just paint it back in. Remove it from the chair itself over here and paint it back in. So this is the before, this is the after, this is the after. I do not want it here, so I'm actually going to remove it from here. Let's check what we have. Because I do not also want it here. Going to remove it from here. You can as well decide to just reduce it slightly or still leave it as dark as that. So I think I like the way it falling off over this area. So look at the image without the shadow, look at the image with the shadow. So looking at it, it looks like he is sitting on it, except for one more thing we need to fix. His clothes is hanging, he needs to be touching the chair. And to fix that, we're just going to go to our edit, go to warp tool, puppet warp tool, or perspective warp tool. So we're just going to make a clip over here, make a clip over here, make a clip over here, and just drag this area down. Just like that. And decide to drag here as well. Sorry, we need to clip this area so this does not affect what we are doing here. Clip this area as well. Drag this area down. Just like that. Just to make sure that it's looking like he is sitting on it. Of course, need to move this over. I think we can as well spread that over the chair. If we spread that over the chair, then we'll have to restore that shadow. We remove that area. Beautiful. Press OK and we are good to go. So look at the image without that warp tool that will just introduce. Look at it before, after, before, after. So to make it look like this is actually here, we need to restore the shadow we removed from this area. So just have to paint it back in. Yeah. Okay, so this is the before, this is the after. So I think the light on his dress is quite too high. So let me see if I can reduce that. Nice. Press Ctrl I, just paint it in. Okay, we are good to go. So I think I need to reduce my shadows a little bit more. Where is my shadow? All right. Okay, so I think I need to reduce it. So at this point, you can decide to maybe scale up the chair a little. So that won't affect our crown. You can decide to scale up the chair a little. But it's going to now become too big. Okay, so let's just have it here. Or rather, let me do it in such a way that it holds everything in. So this is the chair. Get our crown. This is the crown over here. We'll add it up to it. What's the next thing we need to scale up? The shadow of the chair. Let's find that here. Just add that and group everything together. Can now drag it all the way down so that my object will still be above it. Just like this. Now we can decide to max stock. Can even decide to scale up the group. So everything just keeps scaling up together. Like that. Nice. All right. So one more thing I want to correct is the highlight on the chair foot over here. So we just have to. So all this is just, the idea is just to create something very realistic and very, very relatable. So press Ctrl I. I'm using my curves. Just come over here and paint over it. Just like that. So it makes it even look darker. Can even decide to darken this area. Yeah. All right. And we are good to go. So the last thing we're doing is to color grade our image. And to do that, I'm just going to quickly create a solid color. Just get something very warmy. Press OK. Hide this. Duplicate my object. Go to my color range. Make a selection of his skin. Of course, we'll have that already. Just expand the fuzziness a little to spread out well. Press OK. Use it to replace this. Use it to replace this, the mask rather. Then delete this one. We don't need that again. So we'll have our solid color. Just change the blend mode to soft lines. Reduce the opacity. We are good to go. So let's zoom in and see if we missed an area. I thought as much, so we'll just paint it in. Check where this is coming from. So let's just quickly check where we missed out. Okay, so I think it's in my background, my original background. Let's go all the way down. All right, so let's find where that is. Let's find where that is. So I think I need to hide this, create a mask for my background. Paint this area out. Okay, so we are good. fix that. All right, so the next thing I want to do, remember we created a solid color. Let's see how that worked perfectly. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to create a global color grading, and to do that, I'm just going to go to my color lookup table. There is a color coming to my head. It's called tension green. I know this would work, so just reduce that and create one more color lookup. Look for another one that is going to give us a kick and some contrast. Yeah, this is nice. This is so nice, isn't it? I love the theme around here. Let's see how this goes with a very low feel. Nice one. This is beautiful. So the next thing I want to do is, I think it's hiding my image a lot. Let's see if we'll get something better. This is good. I think I'll go with this. This is the before, this is the after. We just have to reduce it a little. Where's our tension green? Also reduce that, or even add to it. Let's see how that works. Beautiful. Okay, so we just need to reduce that, go to my curves and just add some contrast and brightness. So just take this up a little, take this down a little, create one more curves to just give it that cinematic feel. Raise this up a little in haziness. Go to your RGB, go to your green, do the same. Try to raise this up a little, bring this down here, add this up here. Just little twiggings here and there. This is the before, this is the after. I think it's too much. We have to reduce that. All right, so I'm going to create a stamp visible layer for all of this. Control Shift Alternate E. So we'll have all the information of what we did all in the stamp visible layer. So I can now decide to delete all of this as well. Okay, so we'll just have this. Now we're going to load up our beauty retouch and just add some textures to the image. Sharpening edge. All right, so we'll have very good textures on our image. All right, so thank you for watching this amazing video. Let me quickly show you a before and after of everything we did. All right, so let's go all the way up. So this was the image when we came into Photoshop, and this is the image after we did some manipulations, all of that. Thank you for watching this amazing video. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you subscribe, on the notification bell to get notified every single time we drop a new video, because trust me, we'll keep bringing this kind of videos to you. See you on the next one.